Happy Thursday. We are continuing with the parable of the prodigal son, and things are heating up. Yesterday, we saw that the boy has scandalously taken all kinds of stuff and gone to a faraway land, to Vegas. He's squandered it. He's now been pushed aside. He is feeding the pigs. It says, verse 15, he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country who sent him to his field to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything to eat. So it's not just so bad that he's with the pigs, which for him as a Jew is sort of unthinkable. He longs to eat what the pigs are eating. So he has fallen as far as he can fall. Verse 17, when he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So he got up and went to his father. Now remember, going home is not an option because he's lost the family wealth to the Gentiles. He has been ostracized. We can't really understand this. We don't understand that culture. And as Americans, there is a sense in which we don't understand a shame honor culture. Like we just don't get that. We don't understand when you hear about a Japanese executive who has a bad quarter and ends his life. We're like, yeah, what are you talking about? That isn't the way things work. So we don't understand the scandal that's going on here, where this boy repents and then asks to be taken on as a slave, or where the father runs. But that's what we get. Verse 20, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him, which suggests that his father had never stopped watching for him. Right? Why is the father who sees him a long way off? It's the father who has not given up, thinking about loving his son. He had heard all the stories. Oh, your son, he's doing drugs. He's gone to that city. He's whatever. He knows all of that, but he never stops hoping and praying and watching. And remember, the Father is God, and the Son is you. Right? And the Father is watching and loving and hoping. And he's still a long way off. Verse 20, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him, and he ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The Pharisees can't believe what they're hearing. No, this is not what's supposed to happen at all. For starters, in that culture, men didn't run. It wasn't a good look. Imagine President Biden being late to meet with somebody and you see him running because he's late. No, or if you don't want to think President Trump running because he's feeling like he's left somebody behind. Or back up, President Obama running, or just keep backing up. Picture a president, picture a dignified statesman, and imagine them running and being flustered. And being that open with their emotions. It's not what happened. And in that culture, in order for men to run, they had to sort of hike up their robe. They've got pasty white legs. It's not a good look. And so it's considered very unmanly. But this is what the Father is doing in this parable. This is what God is doing in the story that Jesus is telling. He runs through the community. He runs through town to get there and to prevent anyone from getting there first, because there's this whole ceremony that would go on. If somebody got to the son first because of this kazaza, because he'd lost things to the Gentiles, he could be banished from the city. And so the Father is getting there ahead of anyone else. And he willingly embraces this shamed member of the family. Jesus is telling the story in which God runs after you. Think about that. Have a good day.